it's Amanda here, and today we're talking about the latest release from Huda Beauty. This is the LOVEFEST collection. Huda Beauty sent over a couple of things from this LOVEFEST collection for me to try, and I'm going to share everything with you. We're going to do swatches, close-ups. I'm going to do a little tutorial where you can see all of these different items in action, and I'm going to give you all my thoughts along the way. Oh, and of course we're going to do some palette comparisons. I love them, you love them. Hopefully they're helpful. We have a lot of info to go through in this video, so first let's start with the Kayali fragrance that is jointly released with the Huda Beauty makeup. I wasn't too sure about this scent because I tend to like more warm, spicy, musky type of fragrances, and things that are sweeter or more florally typically don't appeal to me. When I saw the word cherry here, I thought this is going to be overly sweet. It's not really going to be for me. But I have to say, this has a lot more of a spicy edge to it than I was expecting, which I really, really like. I'm not a huge perfume buff. I don't know a lot about fragrance. I'm just going to do my best to give you the info about this particular perfume and give you some of my thoughts and opinions. But when it comes to scent, this is a lot more subjective even than makeup in my opinion. So keep that in mind as we talk about Kayali LOVEFEST Burning Cherry. Let's start off with the price range here. This LOVEFEST Burning Cherry fragrance does come in a variety of sizes. So you can get a 10 milliliter travel spray for $23. All the way up to the really, really big bottle, the 100 milliliter bottle, that is $118 US. The one I have here is the 50 milliliter bottle, and it's priced at $85. So there is one smaller version that's also a 10 milliliter, like the travel spray, but it has this style of packaging that the bigger bottles have, and that one's just slightly more expensive at $25. But I wanted to give you the price range here. Fragrance is pretty expensive, and I think for what these are, it's a good price. It feels like a good price to me anyway. I'm more willing to spend a little bit more on something like a fragrance that gets used a lot, particularly one that I really like. And you could see the notes pictured previously here. This is a much more complex and sophisticated take on a fruity fragrance than I originally expected. Next, let's talk about the LOVEFEST Cream Blushes. There are two different shades, and these are priced at $39 US a piece. These are exclusive to the Huda Beauty site, at least here in the US. The only place that you can find these blushes is the Huda site. These are not going to release on Sephora, at least not here in the US. I'm going to give you a close-up look at the outer packaging. It looks just the same on both of these cream blushes, but the difference is with the color-coded sticker here that has the shade name. When you open up inside, this is a locking clasp closure. It's not magnetic packaging, and there is a mirror inside. You definitely need the mirror to really get this full secret share the love message. Now, the way that this is imprinted into the actual blush, the share the love message, as you use it, that message is going to disappear. It is not going to be visible forever. They say after one use, but I've been kind of using the top there to keep the message intact so that I could show it to you. But just be aware, if you purchase this, eventually that message will disappear as you use this. Now I'm going to apply one blush to each cheek. That way you can see both of these in action, and then I'll mix both of them together and I'll just wear the mixture for the video. That way you can see both of these shades applied to my actual face. So right now I'm using the Toasted Tangerine shade, and first I'm just applying with my finger. This one is definitely a little bit softer. It's not quite as bright and bold as the Burning Cherry shade. You will see there is quite a difference in the intensity, because as soon as I dotted it onto my cheek, I thought, oh man, this is really bright, really bold, really pigmented. Now, I like that these actually ended up being so different, because when you see them in the pan side by side, it seems like there's not going to be a lot of variety between the two. I definitely think that particularly the Burning Cherry shade is going to show up really, really well on deeper skin tones. I like both. I'm more drawn towards a mixture of the two because I want something a little bit more bold blush-wise, but I do really like the tone of the Tangerine blush. I also want to point out, and you'll be able to tell in the swatches as well, these do have a bit of a sheen to them. They're not quite metallic, but they definitely have just a little bit of a natural glow to them. They are not glittery. There's no little chunks of shimmer or anything in here. They just have a nice little shine. I love a casually sweaty cheek look, so these definitely do it for me. I did feel that it was just a little bit too bright and bold for me because I knew I was going to do a very smoky, sultry eye look. So I just used a little bit of my Salt New York Sneaky Balm around the edges to sort of tone down the blush a little bit, and can confirm these blushes play very well with other cream products. And I think that this just looks really glowy and natural and cute and healthy. Both of these shades worked really well for me, and I do think this is my favorite part of the Huda portion of the LOVEFEST collection. I haven't tried the lipsticks, but I really like these blushes. Lastly, we have the LOVEFEST Obsessions palette. This is priced at $29 US. It's the exact same dimensions, same shape and size as all the other Obsessions palettes. So we're going to get into the details of this LOVEFEST palette. I'm going to show you some close-ups of the palette itself first, and then we'll do finger and brush swatches and a bunch of comparisons as well. Next up, we have the LOVEFEST palette. This is in the same format as all of the Obsessions palettes, so it's just a little 9-pan eyeshadow palette. Has this cool graphic on the front. Not a ton of info for us on the back because none of these palettes have shade names, so when we get to the swatches and the tutorial portion, I won't be able to give you a shade name because there aren't any. There is a little mirror inside. Again, we have a locking clasp closure instead of a magnetic closure, and this has 3 shimmer shades. It is mostly a matte palette, but we have 3 different shimmers here. One is this little swirled color up in the corner, and 2 more foily type of metallics. The center shade does have a bit of that blue-purple duochrome shift to it. The mattes are super soft and buttery. The metallics are really, really bright and foily. Overall, this is on par with the incredibly high performance of Huda Beauty eyeshadows that I have come to expect. So I have to say this is on par formula-wise. Now, for a couple of comparisons, a lot of people have been saying that these 2 palettes are very similar. The Wild Chameleon Obsessions, definitely a similar vibe. The metallics are all off. They are pretty similar in the matte shades, but I would say, less than half exact dupes. But, there's only 9 shades, so it's still a lot of very, very similar colors. The next one I thought of was the Nude Rich palette, and a lot of these more neutral leaning shades in the palette are very similar. This is about as many dead-on matches as Wild Chameleon, at least in my opinion. So if you have those 2, pretty close. I did want to pull out Purple Haze just because, again, this is a purple meets neutrals type of color scheme. This one's not really similar. Obviously, you could find maybe 1 or 2 shades that are similar, but overall, Purple Haze, not much of a match. The last one that I've heard a lot of people mention on Instagram when talking about this is the Naughty Nude palette. And again, I think the mattes are more similar than the shimmers in this one. But, there's plenty of overlap among these comparison palettes that I pulled. Not everybody has all of the comparison palettes, so if you missed out on some of these others, maybe the LOVEFEST palette is a good alternative. Now that you've seen all these products close up, you've seen the swatches, I want to show you a quick tutorial. That way you can see the LOVEFEST palette in action, and then I'll wrap up all my thoughts along the way. When it comes to this collection, I think the palette could have been pushed a little bit farther, as you saw from just the handful of comparisons I did. This is a pretty well-known color story in the Huda Beauty release history. Now, not everybody has every single palette, so I don't think that's necessarily a huge problem because, you know, this is obviously a well-loved color scheme. And if you didn't get a chance to grab Wild Chameleon or any of the others that I showed, they do discontinue their palettes pretty regularly. I don't know which of these are still around. I assume Naughty Nudes is still around and possibly the Nude Obsessions palettes. But overall, I don't hate it. I just wish that it was pushed a little bit further. I do love the eye look I came out with. I do love the performance. So, you know, I feel sort of two minds about this palette. I wish that we got a little bit more exciting color story. I would say for me, the cream blushes and then the Kayali fragrance are really the hits. Now, there is a little mini lip collection that I don't have my hands on yet. I am considering purchasing it because I do really like Huda lip formulas as well. It's a little mini set. It definitely has my interest, but I would say personally, the cream blushes are my top pick, closely followed by Lovefest Burning Cherry from Kayali. And then this palette, it works well if you're into this color scheme and you don't have any of the comparison palettes, then I don't think you'll be disappointed at all performance-wise. It stands up with my other Obsessions palettes, which I really genuinely love and are always towards the top for me when I'm listing off favorites. I think it's the orangey neutrals that are making it so similar. If this was all pink and purple, maybe it would have been a different story. Some hot pinks and some pastel pinks and purples, and then these sultry, deep, more maroon type purples. I think that would have been fun. Maybe I'll come up with a what I would have made video for this Lovefest palette because I do like this collection overall. Just a couple little tweaks I would have made here and there personally. Now's the time when I want to hear what you think about this Lovefest collection. Are you interested? Are you passing? Are any of these items grabbing your interest? I always love to hear what you think about things too, so make sure you leave all your thoughts down in the comments below. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Did I paint my nails to match this bottle? Yes, I did. Yes, I absolutely did. Can't believe you were even wondering. The only place that you can get these blushes is the Huda Beauty. I really could stare at these boxes all day. I am very, very, very easily distracted by shiny things, and these are shiny and rainbows. I'm done for. My dog makes the most disgruntled noises when she's waiting for me to be done filming so that I can go and snuggle with her. Let's not even act like she wants to play. She doesn't want to play. She just wants to sit on the couch while I pet her. So. I'm easily amused. Let's not skip over the fact that I already have my fall earrings on. You know, I was looking for a very monochromatic look because I had the nails to match the packaging, and then I put on this little kind of burgundy t-shirt, which is actually a Queen Banty. And I thought, you know, I've been working on my fall stuff on my Etsy shop, and this would be the perfect color. I already have some of the fall things released, but there's still a lot more that's going to come out. I think I have like 20 or 25 fall styles right now. I will probably at least double that over the next month or so. And also, that's not even including Halloween. We're going to have Halloween stuff too. But I think these are so cute. I love these little fall leaf earrings. I'm ready for fall. I'm done with summer. I don't care if it's not officially fall yet. In here, right in here, summer is done and it is time for fall now. End of story. I will not be taking questions. Thank you. All right. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. You are so special. And I love your face. And I'll see you soon. Okay. Bye-bye.